With direct mail, here's the deal. Keys to success. Consistency is number one. Don't expect to be able to mail once and buy a deal. You're going to, generally speaking, they say depending on what book you're reading at the time, any marketing book will tell you you need somewhere between 7 and 12 touches to get to the yes you're after. And so this is a long-term play. It's a relationship game. The first property I should say that I bought through direct mail was and I'll talk more about it. It was a 12-month, 18-month process, start to finish, from first contact. And I had mailed to him for a year prior to that with no response. And we might talk about the details of that for those of you that haven't heard it. But long story short, it can't be a one and done kind of thing. What I like to do is take my list, say it's 1,000 people, and divide it into thirds and send every month to a third of the list. That way, every 3 months, I've hit the full list. And then throughout the course of the year, each property will get a contact from me 4 times. And that also gives you the opportunity to do some testing. In the marketing world, which this is, direct marketing, testing is king. And so maybe your first letter is just a very simple stamped envelope with printed address and return address label on it, and you send that out. If your response rate isn't where you want it to be, and just for your reference, a good response rate is considered 1 to 2%. So if you send 100 letters, if you get 2 phone calls, that's actually considered good from an industry standpoint. So that should just give you an idea of the where you need to be at if you want to actually start generating some calls. But if you send out to all 1,000 people in the first month and you get no response, you just wasted that entire budget for nothing. Whereas if you had sent out 333 letters to that list and got no response, well, you'd at least have the opportunity to change something before you send out the next 333 letters. So you're building in a split test. And if that works better, then you repeat it next month. If that works a little better, but you want to tweak something else, you make another change. And that change can be the copy of the letter, which we'll go through in detail here in a minute. It could be, are you printing the address and return address right on the envelope, or are you handwriting one of those 2 things? Are you printing them on labels and securing them? All of these things, the color of the envelope, the color of the paper, like, it all matters. I don't get super fancy and cute with it. I think authenticity and good copy and consistency are most important. I mean, I know there are marketing geniuses that'll tell me I'm an idiot for not using blue paper or whatever. I just, I only need a deal or every year or so. So I don't need to get that crazy. Another key to success is answer the phone, and don't be surprised if you get calls 3 or 6 months later after you stop a campaign. I'm not doing any marketing right now. I did it until I found the properties to keep me busy, and then I put a pause on it because I didn't need any more deals. I actually continued to get calls for like 6 months. Some of those turned into deals for some of my students. But the key is to answer the phone. Now, I'm going to sound like a complete hypocrite because I don't answer my phone if I don't recognize the number. So I'll show you my letter in a minute that shows you how I get around it.